US people don't come to this country, and I don't understand why. I'm standing in the middle of a city center with nobody else. Look at this place. It's completely empty. I'm in a random town in Romania. And look at this. Overnight, the businesses, they leave their tables and chairs outside, and nobody steals them. If you were in the US and you left your tables, and look, every business does it. If you left your tables and chairs outside without a massive chain on them, they would be stolen and then scrapped, and you would never see it again. There's no way this is a real thing. They have a McDonald's drive-thru, but for your feet. You just walk up to this window and order McDonald's. You don't even need a car for that. And you won't believe this. Not only do they leave their tables and chairs out, they leave a piano outside. Look, this is a whole piano. There's no chains or nothing. That's worth like thousands of Romanian money. Why is no one taking that? Maybe it's my New York mindset, but someone would have stolen that the minute you left it there. I'm just gonna say this. I think we need to start coming to Romania.
There is a massive decay going on in Europe and America. Countries in these two continents are becoming unrecognizable. There is no longer respect for the laws of the land, and there is no regard for the owners of this country. I have seen many videos where immigrants are marching and calling for death to America. Videos where immigrants set fire to their host country's flag and vandalize and destroy public properties. There has been several videos where immigrants harass, beat up, and even unalive bona fide citizens of that country they reside in. Cases of child rape have skyrocketed over the decade. These incidents usually leave me wondering what is going on in Europe. Are people okay with this level of societal decay? Honestly, nobody has to speak about it. My name is Modi and you're welcome back to Modi Speaks. Please, I have a question. Is immigration destroying Western countries? I'd love to hear your response in the comments, but first, let's take a look at this video.
יוסי די! תירגע! רגוע. יוסי אתה לא רגוע. יוסי אתה מגזים.
מה אתה עושה? מה אתה עושה? אתה לוקח 5 שנים בעבר.
What is going on here, you're wondering? Well, this guy, whom I'm assuming is a Jewish immigrant, judging from the little cap he's wearing on his head, he decided to vandalize this bus simply because he wasn't allowed to ride for free. This is someone who was let into the country on the basis that he would be on his best behavior and not go about destroying public properties. What is he trying to achieve by destroying and damaging these bus windows and glass doors? And to top it all off, this guy is supposed to be a religious person of good morals. Watch how he bent down to pick up his skull cap. A religious personnel. Yet, he wasn't ashamed of showing off this horrible behavior in public. If this religious guy, who is supposed to be tolerant and ethical, is this unhinged, then how do you think non-religious immigrants with no strong moral compass will behave? It is a clown word, guys. But this brings me back to my question. Is immigration destroying parts of Europe and America? Well, if you ask me, I don't think the problem is immigration itself. Rather, the problem is the mass immigration of illiterate and illegal immigrants and economic refugees over and above the generous amount of legal migrants that are allowed into Europe and America every year. Don't get me wrong, okay? I am not saying that immigration is totally wrong, because I am aware that immigration, if properly managed, can be very helpful to a country. But if mismanaged, can be very, very disastrous. For example, If you let in 200 university professors or 200 IT gurus into a country, that is going to benefit that country immensely. But if you let in 200 illegal, probably illiterate immigrants who tore up their passports immediately after they arrived into a country, well, no one needs to tell you that that country is in for trouble. I have seen what unmitigated immigration can do to a country, and believe me, it is not beautiful. Multiple rape cases where the culprits are mainly illegal immigrants, unnecessary murder and attack of innocent citizens by illegal immigrants has gone up. Children are not even safe. You have a grown man rape a child as young as 13 years old, and then he was allowed to walk free by the government because he wasn't aware rape is a crime. I just wanted to let that sink in, okay? He was allowed to go free because he wasn't aware. There was a situation I came across where a fake asylum seeker took out a knife to threaten the European family that took him in, because I think the family kind of found out he was a fake asylum seeker. So they told him to leave, but he got offended and threatened them with a knife, all the while shouting that their home is now his home.
Was hast du gesagt? Hä?
Pass auf.
Okay, ist alles okay, okay.
Pass auf.
Was hast du gesagt?
Okay, alles okay.
Was hast du gesagt? Hä?
Alles okay, habe ich schon verstanden.
Birgit, ruf die Polizei.
Was ist denn?
Du hast das Messer in der Hand und hast bedroht hier die Leute.
Die betreffende Leute, hä? Die drohen mich hier verarscht, hä?
Hey,
Was wollt ihr? Raus hier!
Hey, komm.
hier
Heide,
hat
komm.
hier keiner was zu
Komm.
suchen. Hey, da musst du aufpassen.
Komm jetzt raus, ich komme raus, Heide! Heide!
Komm, geh raus. Geh runter.
Ja. Er hat das Messer in der Hand und will hier die Männer abstechen. Ja. Jetzt hat das Messer in der Hand und will die abstechen.
Yeah, you saw that. This family gave this so-called asylum seeker shelter and food and took care of him. And now he's threatening to do them harm if they throw him out of their house. This Europe and America that I am witnessing today is one that I find very difficult to recognize. The UK, for example, spends about £8 million every year to accommodate illegal immigrants when the country already have a surging amount of destitute and homeless UK citizens. The UK is burdened with the task of providing accommodation for these illegal immigrants, asylum seekers and refugees. The UK gives them food and pocket money to the extent that these immigrants are now fully dependent on the government for their livelihood.
Aqua no bono, Mangeria no bono, Medicina no bono, Biggie Boss Petroli no bono, Pecky, no pocket money, no pocket money.
Da quanto tempo? 3 mesi.
Sì, no pocket money, no bono.
This immigrant was complaining that the government have not given them pocket money for almost 3 months and they are tired of the mistreatment. One that shall never end. Oh my God, what an entitled, lazy piece of shit. Are you a child that you need to be taken care of? In most cases, Europe and America are not importing quality people, which are always welcome in any healthy society. Rather, they are importing masses of unskilled, uneducated people who bring nothing but economic and safety problems. And this is negative, not only for Europeans, but also for the quality immigrants who come into Europe legally. How can an immigrant come into a country and start harassing citizens simply because those people are legal, bona fide citizens of that country?
We are going to do an ethnography on people who eat at Tate, the most basic Israeli establishment in D.C. Here we have some mediocre white people to start the day off. More mediocre white people. More mediocre white people. Thank you for the smile, sir. There, a chubby, mediocre white man. Hi, excuse me, ma'am. Can we ask you your stance on Palestine? Any stance, ma'am? No stance? No stances? No? Just what do you have for brunch? Some shakshuka? Some Palestinian shakshuka? Aib aleki ya kelba. You guys, we're going to give you a pass, but next time, please skip Tate. It's owned by devilish white people. Guys, look at this white man here. Sir, do you have a stance on Palestine? Sir, I say sir. I say sir. Sir, I say sir. Yep, get up. Brunch is over, sir. Brunch has been declared over, sir. Look at these jabronis at Tate. Tate restaurant, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Woo!
He's over obviously Palestinian and he hates Tate restaurants and white people, yet he is still in America. Why don't he go back to his country if he doesn't like seeing white people? In the United States alone, nearly 70,000 immigrants coming every day. 70,000 in a single day. And most of them are not of this quality. The greater number of these 70,000 immigrants are of this quality. That is why the US is rapidly experiencing a decline. There is overcrowding and too much pressure on public services. There is increase in vandalization of government properties by people who have no love nor sense of ownership to the United States, because it is clearly not their country. I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this video because I'm obviously treading on forbidden waters, but I really do not care. I will say what needs to be said and move on. It is very wrong for a grown man to destroy public properties and cause a public nuisance simply because he was told to pay for his bus ride. Why be a nuisance on purpose? If you must live in a country, at least try to respect her rules and regulations instead of flouting every single one of them. Sir, come closer. Come closer. See, if you must ride a bus, then you must be able to pay for your bus fare. And if you don't want to pay, then you don't get to get a ride. Stop fostering chaos in the society. If the government is serious on cracking down on crazy behaviors like this, then crazy behaviors like this will stop to exist. Sadly, the situation on hand is that the government in these Western countries are dominated by far-left politicians who are not even originally descended from these European countries and these, American states and stuff. They're not originally descended from there. I can see that this code of racially diverse societies like the US and how the white race is declining and being taken advantage of in these nations. White people have been made to feel so guilty, so much so that they can't even refuse illegal immigrants into their country. They are allowing their culture and religion to be replaced by that of foreigners. And if they don't accept, then they are seen as racists and bigots. I have seen situations where Muslim immigrants are clamoring for the implementation of Sharia law in well-established Christian country. These immigrants were allowed into these countries, but now they want to overthrow the country's laws and religion and implement theirs. As mass immigration of illegal aliens increases, so too will racial politics and anti-white ideology, white guilt and self-loathing among white people. White males will be made a social pariah. White people will be usurped and oppressed. Non-whites will be invited into powerful political positions in your government, and where they will facilitate the conquest of ethnic whites and use the law to prevent ethnic Europeans and Americans from ending immigration or protecting themselves. Allowing mass immigration of illegals to continue is akin to committing suicide so that another man can take over your house, your possessions, your wife, your industry, your identity, your history. By all means, I support the legal immigration of reasonable foreigners. That is in fact a boost to every country. But I am totally against illegal immigration because in fact, these immigrants who exhibit these crazy behaviors are usually illegal immigrants. Therefore, to answer my previous question, I would say no. Immigration is not destroying Europe and America. Rather, the mass immigration of illegal alien is destroying Europe and Africa. And something needs to be done about it, because if not, then these countries are absolutely in for a rude awakening. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to subscribe, like this video, share it, because it is totally free. And as you do that, please do not forget that I do not know much. I just speak.